Hello everyone, I'm Askar Nazir, and in this video I'll show you how to install MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench is a piece of software similar to IntelliJ. Just like we use IntelliJ to write our Java code, we will be using MySQL Workbench to write our SQL code. So let's download it. So all you have to do is simply open your favorite browser. I'm using Google Chrome, but you can use any, and then simply type MySQL Workbench and hit enter. And once you see the results, make sure the link is from mysql.com. Click on MySQL Workbench, then click on download, and then it's gonna show you the options. Now, if your Mac is older than 2020 or if it is Intel based, then you have to go with this first download button. Otherwise, you have to do the second one. One way to identify what kind of Mac you are using is to click on Apple, about this Mac. And if you see this M in the chip, M1, M2, M3 or any M4, that means your Mac is Apple Silicon based. And if you see in front of processor, you see Intel Core i3, 5 or 7, that means it's Intel based. So since my Mac is M1 based, I'm going to go and download this one, ARM, second option. If you're Intel one, then go with the first link. So simply click on download and then click on no thanks, just to start my download, and then the download is going to start. Now I'm not going to download it. I have already downloaded it. So I'm simply going to click on this link to install it. Once you do that, simply drag and drop it here. And because I have already installed it, that's why it shows me this option to replace. You are not going to get this option. Simply, you are going to see the first window. So let me close this. And now I can start using my SQL Workbench. So simply click on my SQL Workbench, and then it's going to start. And we should see our window. Oops, looks like something went wrong. Let me do it again. So my SQL Workbench, there you go. And also, you are not going to see anything here. So let me delete this. So this is what you are going to see. Now, before we can start using the MySQL Workbench, before we can start writing queries and everything, we need to create a connection to the database on which our queries will be executed. So to do that, you have to click on this plus button, and then you have to enter the information of the computer on which the database is installed. So for the connection name, let's call it HRMS admin. And for the server, now all of this information might change, and the latest one will be shared with you in the course announcement. So do not worry and use the information that is provided to you. So for example, right now the current server is this 253.255. The port is 3306. The username that I am using is test user. And then you have to click on this password and store in keychain, and that's where you have to enter the password. Again, all of this will be shared with you in the course announcement. So I'm entering my password now. Perfect. Once you do that, click on OK. And do not forget to click on this test connection. If you do any step wrong, if you do not enter the proper name of the server, or username is wrong, or password, you are going to get an error here. I have entered everything correctly. That's why I see successfully made the SQL connection. If you see this option, that means you have entered everything properly. Otherwise, look for this host name, port, username, and password. Simply click on OK. And then you should see something like this. Now, connection has been created. To start using MySQL Workbench, simply click on HRMS admin or whatever you have called your connection. And then it's going to open the editor in front of you where you can start writing your queries. Now, we can have multiple schemas on a database. Just to make sure that everything is good, we are going to use any. So the current tab that you are going to see is going to land you over here, administration tab. You can click on this schemas. Let me bring it here. And then you are going to see all of the databases which are accessible to you. Now, again, I'm using a different username and password, so you might not see the same number of databases available to you. Totally fine. Simply type use and then batch 16. semicolon, and then write this query, select all from person, another semicolon, and then select both of these queries and click on this button here. This is going to execute your query on the database and it's going to bring some results. So for example, I see these results here. Now, if you see these results, you are good for your first class. If you get any errors or anything, please post in the support channel so that everything can be set up properly before the class. So that's all for this video. That's all that I wanted to show. And please make sure that everything is ready before the class so that you don't lose anything. Take care. Bye-bye, and I'll see you in the class.